Well, everybody, nice to have you again over here. Today it's my pleasure again to welcome Filip Kurek with us from Bioseptic. Now, today we have a little bit of a session. This is like a mid term of our course through bioremediation and how you can implement. I love to recommend this for you because we have literally like 10 sessions on bioremediation, on application, on the benefits. You have an option to ask questions about your project. You get some very interesting information, valuable information for your business or maybe project or even financing of your projects with this type of approach, taking care of water. So again, highly recommend that. And today we have a little bit of a special session because Filip is now around 10 years working with bioremediation in the international space. And there are some takeaways, some kind of key elements where we thought it may be very useful for you to take this away for your business or for the type of work, for the type of challenges that you may face when either working in this space, or I'm sure that those of you which are in sustainability will recognize some of the points anyhow. So with this, Filip, thank you so much again for taking your time, being here with us. And I would hand over to you straight, if that's okay for you.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for having me here again. So yeah,
We love to. We love to,
Yeah, thank you. So without further ado, I will just start. I have a very short presentation today, and today we're going to talk about my company culture and my culture that I have in my work, I will call it. And yeah, I'll talk about whatever I do, mostly how I work and why I do what I do. So, and I will try to give you a few tips how to do the business if you want to do this kind of business from your perspective. So some tips that might help you in building such a career or whatever. So yeah, so let's start with this. Hope you can see everything. Please let me know.
Just a second.
Okay, good. So we'll start there with, it's called bioremediation culture. So talking about company culture to be more precise. So if you want to do something like I am doing, I'm having my own business. Yeah? So basically I'm a business owner and entrepreneur, or however we want to call it.
A crazy person.
And thank you. And
crazy ambitious, but good crazy.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll get to this point with crazy because yesterday I had the interesting talk about this with one of my partners, because I don't have customers that much. I typically have business partners. And so if you want to do business of basically maintenance, because that's mostly what we do, we do some management and maintenance of waste, and waste management is part of maintenance typically. So if you want to be a skilled maintenance manager, then you should be able to talk to people. First of all, you have to ask a lot. You have to listen to what they say when you ask something, and then you have to talk about whatever they should hear or they need to hear. I don't mean like you don't want to tell them what they want to hear. You want to tell them what they need to hear. Sometimes they don't like it. Sometimes they don't want to work with you. But this is very important, and then you have to repeat it. And typically, in the end, we are just getting into the point that people start to listen as well. They start to connect the dots that we offer them and that we explain, and then they ask more by themselves and listen and talk to you. So you have to repeat it as long as necessary to gain the attention and the level of understanding to move on with the project. So that's the most important part for every maintenance manager and every person who's working with any kind of waste management or maintenance. And the most important part is communication and being able to communicate with people. It's not about technical skills or stuff like people typically think. Yeah, interrupt me if you want, whenever.
I was just wondering because many times, and also, during our discussions on bioremediation, especially, it was like people sometimes don't know what the root cause is. So for what you are describing right now, it's very important to identify, or is it maybe a question? Because, I don't want to put something there. I'd rather have it confirmed by you as an expert. How do people come to you or your clients? Do they know what is going on, what may be the problem, or how do you come to the root cause? How do you implement this process then?
two basic factors of motivation. So problem and money. We either solve a problem because
Mm-hmm.
there is something, or something is too expensive and they want to save money. So these are two things that people come to us with. And I think there's nothing else typically, because whatever in this kind of business, there's just it's just problem or money. You need to solve something because something happened, or something is too expensive and you cannot move on or go on with whatever costs you have now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to change something, or update it, or somehow, I don't know, somehow make it better, just to make it survivable.
Correct, and I mean, I fully agree with you. And also, as from the consumer, from the buyer side, but also just the process that you described is kind of very interesting to understand for you as a professional, helping them to solve the problem, what actually needs to be done. Also, this is why I think it's very valuable what you described. Very basic communication, but very valuable. Ask what is the problem so that you get the best possible description what is happening, and then try to kind of propose what is possible from your side.
Yes, in time you learn what to ask. It's typically, I typically, mm, let's say, I manage the conversation in some kind of way, or I lead it. I know what to ask, when to ask it. I know what kind of problems people can have, and I know how to ask the right questions so they know what I'm asking. And it's difficult to explain now, but sometimes when we have a small treatment plan, for example, at home, people have no idea how it works or what it is. They just buy it and they think it will work because it's some kind of machine in the basic sense.
Plug
And
in and it works.
yes, something in this way. They say, like, I bought it for a lot of money. Just want to make it work. I just want to. It should work. That's what I get. That's the answer I get typically.
Mhm.
And I have to ask them what kind of, for example, chemicals they use at home for cleaning. Yeah, or how often do they do some maintenance of the treatment plan or whatever. So I basically, like I said, I lead the conversation and I know where we want to get in that kind of talk. Yeah, so I just put them into some situation that I want, and it's all in positive way. It's not in a negative way that I want to tell them, yeah, now you don't know what to do and everything is wrong. That's not the goal. The point is to get the understanding of how they function at home
Mhm.
or in the company. So I can imagine. I don't have to visit it actually. I can just imagine from the talk or on the phone or when we just talk together what they have, how it looks, and how it behaves in some way. So
Mm.
that's the goal of of what to do of this communication part of the business. Yeah, that's we don't need to visit a lot of places if we want to solve a problem. That's
Mm.
very huge benefit for people, especially. So yeah, don't have to order some special visit that's costly, but you can just ask. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So that's it. Yeah. So we can move on with what do you need to do such a work. If you would be an employee, then you need maybe patience and some certain level of resilience. But I will talk about the business part or business owner perspective of this work, and you definitely need resilience, patience, and willpower. So resilience is the ability, I would call it, to not get down when things don't work, or when people don't like whatever you do, or when there is some kind of problem.
Mhm.
Anything negative, you just have to absorb it, process it, and either let go or use it somehow for development of yourself and your company. It's very important to know how to process things and to process them well or in the right way. This takes time, so that's the patience part. It takes
Mhm.
a lot of time. Then you need patience to get some profits coming, because you typically work without not so much money when you make in your own business, and you don't have whatever. I don't know. You can either make some loan and try to survive with that, but that can be a lot of pressure if things don't go well. It just adds the pressure. For example, I work with my parents. They started this. My father started this company in 2008. It was just a sidekick. He sold one product for €2, for example, or whatever it was. We were one of the first people selling these things in our country, and
Slovakia, let's put it
yeah, in
straight.
Slovakia, yeah. And we bought a few products there, and there was it. He in 10 years or less, he moved to 3 products, I think. And then I came, I took those products, I changed some stuff there, and started working with that when I was like 17, 18, or whatever. I was just, it was mostly having arguments with parents and telling them that whatever they do is not good. And they said that whatever I do is that I don't know anything about it. So, yeah. And that took a few years. That required a few years, I would say 3 or 4. But I knew biology, chemistry, and whatever around it, and I just knew those topics. So I said, okay, we can use it for this and that, and let's try it. And then I said, okay, I'm studying some business school, so because I changed my way from biology and chemistry to business, and I said that I'll do marketing there. I'll do whatever kind of AdWords, some company identity, let's say. That was a long process. It's still creating, and it's development for a lifetime or more. So the company can survive us all if it's good. And yeah, but it's difficult to make it. And yeah, I was just somehow developing. So it took many years till I got to some real work, and whatever. I was in the background. I was just trying to advise someone and just bring ideas into the table. So that's kind of patience as well. Then I started working, and now I work fully for 1 year. And you have to have willpower. The willpower is the will to work, basically, or continue with whatever you do. And my background for this, I'll talk about my background today a lot, because I think that people should know it, or maybe it might be interesting for someone who's struggling or whatever at some time. I also struggle a lot. I struggle every day with business and everything. I don't know. It's natural part of the success and struggle. They are just together. That's something you will get every day.
You're a fighter. One can see that you're a warrior.
And you just have to go on. It's not. I'm not behaving like I am someone. Better than everyone else or whatever. I don't actually care what people do. I'm just focusing on whatever I'm doing, and I'm trying to get better and make it work. If something doesn't work, I focus on that and I try to make it work. That's it. And the willpower is very important here, because without that, you get to lose it every day. I would say I learned how to manage these things, but it's difficult sometimes to wake up and start working if you don't want to, or whatever, when things don't work. So yeah, you just have to don't look at this. I would say that's the good point. I would say that just don't care or whatever. Try to ignore whatever is happening and focus on work. If we work, we actually solve a lot of our problems, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah, and also just to bring it back to the topic of bioremediation and getting back to this field is, also the process of bioremediation. Sometimes people, expect miracles or wizard work, magic. They expect magic. Is it really the case, or is it more like there is because we talk about resilience, patience, willpower.
Yes.
So you have to do small steps to get the results that you need. Is this the same for bioremediation, or is it really like magic? You throw there a tap, magic comes in. Of course, we have some shock power, some shock elements or ingredients or products that we work with. But how is it in general with bioremediation?
Actually, those product names are just names. The shock powder, you just have to call it somehow. Shock powder is a powder that you just put into the water. You typically get 3 forms of bacteria. That's just very fast and quick. Side explanation: you either get liquefied, solid, and solid are in tablets or powder. That's it. Liquids are not working that well. I would say they don't work at all, because if you got enzyme, that's good. Enzymes are fine, but with bacteria, they have to eat something. If they are in water or in some kind of liquid without nutrients, they just don't survive. We would have to put them in sludge water, or we have to put something for them, some glucose or any kind of nutrient into the liquid, and sometimes they need oxygen or whatever. So these products are mostly placebo. That's kind of a thing people don't know.
Mhm.
And then you get powder or tablet. And with the shock thing, the shock is called shock because it just releases all the bacteria directly into the water at the one point of time, so
Mhm.
immediately.
Mhm.
The powder or the tablets are typically releasing their mass slowlier. Yeah, so that has some kind of different advantages to put
Mhm.
something slowly into the water and get a more stable process. But when we talk about the bioremediation, why I'm talking about this resilience, patience, willpower triplet, you have to transfer this mindset into your customer if you want them to work properly and if they want things to work. That's why I explain this, because I typically talk about how I think to them, so they can learn this kind of mindset. And you just need to hear it and you can learn it. Yeah, that's all you need, just to see it or hear it right now. And these things, they work slowly. If we want them to work, we have to invest our time, which takes patience, and we have to have the will at the beginning when we work with something we have no idea about. That I will try to do that. I will have that willpower to put it into the whatever treatment plant or septic tank every week, or the drain, and I will try to wait for the results. But by combining the willpower and patience to do something, we get a very well working system after some times that is also resilient for waste typically. Yeah, so because waste is the goal, to remove the waste. So we get the systems that are very resilient. That means that we got bacterial colonies in there, that we got the means to remove higher masses of waste that can come there. And this is something we can achieve only by combining this willpower and patience. We need time and we need some effort to put in there to get something like that. So when the problem comes, we are prepared. Basically, the system is prepared for that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Uh,
this is the result and goal.
mhm. Very interesting. Also, maybe a quick question regarding, you mentioned enzymes and bacteria. Is there any kind of key difference that you would like to share with us, and kind of also the benefits or
Okay.
disadvantages of using one or the other?
Oh,
For waste, for example, we
disadvantages.
hear a lot.
Yeah,
Please.
I'll send a link for one post I made on LinkedIn. There is comparison between chemical, enzymatic, and bacterial treatment of wastewater mostly, or organic waste treatment.
Hmm.
Very simply said, chemical is artificial thing. You just put it somewhere. It typically dissolves or somehow liquefies the waste,
Hmm.
but it works only when it's concentrated. So when you put it into the water, it's losing the concentration, of course, yeah, by the flow, for example, in the pipeline. So you put a chemical cleaner of, I don't know, some gobbler or whatever these things are called. You put it into your drain, for example, in kitchen. Yeah, this typical problematic part, and it starts doing something. But you flush it with water, and as it goes further, you find out that the blockage is just somewhere else. It's moved 10 centimeters, half meter, or whatever. Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's the thing. The same is happening with enzyme. Enzyme is chemical, but it's produced by natural organisms, so either by bacteria or some microorganism or plant or whatever. So enzyme is doing the same thing as chemical. The problem is that when you liquefy something and it gets solid back again, so it solidifies at some point or after some time, it can get more solid than it was before. This is a huge problem because to remove a blockage that was caused by chemicals, after few tries, and it's blocked it's pretty solid. Yeah, it's very difficult to remove. You have a problem because chemicals won't work anymore. Then you have to use mechanical treatment. What we do with bacteria, we destroy that thing. They eat them out, so nothing is left but CO2 and water and bacteria, more bacteria that will just die off when they have nothing to eat. So we
Hmm.
basically eat it out. There's no residue. There's no further blockages. There's no liquefy, solidify process. Yeah, they just remove and go away. So this is the resilience of the system, and this is the solution that we are trying to bring to people. I'm not saying that our bacteria are only applicable or whatever, because there are many products. Everyone can sell a product. The company culture of my company is that we sell know-how and service to this product. As you can hear now, we talk about it, why it works, why it doesn't. Yeah, that's our added value. That's the thing we sell,
Mhm. Mhm.
or we are good at.
Mhm. And also, that is a very interesting point you make, because um, one is the added value, the service, the application. It's not easy. You need to kind of also bear with it. It's a natural system. You need to kind of follow the steps, be patient, to get the results that you need, and also adjust on the way. So it's a very interesting element that you say, and also connected to this commercial part, to the business part, because we live a culture. Culture is also a kind of a keyword in the session today. The culture of a business, the culture with working and sustainability, the culture of how we think, how we buy, how we consume things. And that's also connected to the business models, because right now, I mean, we had the previous discussion. We are kind of trained, we're educated, we grew up with this consume, dispose, linear. Get it, get some more. You purchase it, it works. You have an empty bottle, you throw it away. That's how we grew up. That's what we know. That's what we kind of look at. And now the change comes in, the business, the whole business innovation, the whole business. We had a circular business or impact business session on Monday with one of our partners as well, Lara Mehana. And that is quite clear that we need to look for new ways. And we also discussed it. What are the new ways which you see in your segment as going away from this consume, get more, consume, dispose, get more, and repeat cycle, to what are new ways of you seeing, how business can be done?
Uh, yes, so that's another very good point for the conversation. What we bring is something different. I would like to skip it for now if I can. I would finish the
Yeah.
presentation because I have just one last slide with
Okay.
the benefits of the work, and then I will talk about how we work and whatever we bring, so we
Mhm.
can see each other and just have it more personal.
Mhm.
Because I would like to delve into this after we finish
Good.
this final
Part.
thing. These are benefits of the work. Yeah, this
Mhm.
just benefits are something I would like to just name and very very shortly talk about, because
Mhm.
everyone will find their own benefits of the work. Yeah,
Mhm.
and with the last benefit I will mention, I will connect it to your question and answer this. So benefits of my special type of work, my business, is that I've got endless opportunities and unbelievable access to places and people and businesses that you will never be able to enter and never be able to even see that they exist. You don't even know they are. I visited so many places that I would just never be able to go to,
Mhm.
that I see there's a very huge benefit for me. For example, wastewater is literally everywhere. So every business has a wastewater. Either if it's of
Mhm.
its company, it's a production line of meat, cheese, train productions, whatever, car production, anything. Just wastewater is just everywhere. So I've seen a lot of stuff in different places. I've seen how trains are built. I've seen how sewers under the cities work.
Mhm.
I've been to places you don't even know that sewer or lift stations are right next to your block of flats, for example. They are
Mhm.
right in front of your door. You don't know that, yeah, because it just doesn't look like that from the outside. You have no idea that things are there. I've seen so many production facilities, and I've been to biggest companies in this country, and I'm still going further and visiting anyone. Yeah, and why I'm going there, because I can bring my results, and that's a benefit for me, because I just wanted to do a work that allows me to bring real results for people.
Mhm.
Real, I mean, visible, clear result that everyone just looks at it and says, "Okay, this is working well," or "This is yeah, that's something that we couldn't imagine before, but now it works." So yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, you just spot it right on time. Of course, by going to various places, you meet a lot of interesting people. a lot of people are very weak. I would say that, to be honest, you'll meet a lot of people that have no idea what they are doing. They're just doing their job because they have to, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
care. The minute they finish, they're done. They just don't. They don't even know their job exists anymore. So
Mm.
that's a mass. But between that mass are always some people who know what they do. They make things work, and they make all the machinery and the army of people who don't care work in such a way that, those systems are fine and they are just clocking and working. They're moving on somehow. So these are people you want to meet. They are rare, and there's not too many of them, of course. But that's very satisfactory for you to know people like that. They work a lot, and I'm getting back to whatever you said. They call us crazy when we work too much, and you don't have holidays typically, or you have it, but you work there as well. So that's not so much of holiday, but you just switch the places, or some environment, and that's good. So yeah, by that you make contacts and you just talk to someone, and time you have. Okay,
Mm.
I get this question a lot. What time? What's that? What kind of benefit is time? We all have some time. Day is same for everyone, but uh, high quality time that you can spend on something that is meaningful, that brings results, and that you can see the development of either whole country, business, industry, or whatever. That's high quality time, and it gives you more benefits to your psychic than,
Mm.
for example, going for holiday and just they just don't care about anything, and then spend your day doing something you don't want to or whatever. So this is a very important part of me. High quality time is the biggest benefit you can get, because when you do something you like and you travel a lot, it's like a holiday typically, because I travel so much, that I'm always somewhere else. I just visit places, visit something interesting. I'm curious about those things, and I don't know, when you go to, for example, some production facility, you also talk about what they do, what they produce, why are they doing, what's their business strategy or whatever. You get to meet people, you get to learn how those flavors to your favorite drink are made, for example, and stuff. So these are things you just get by communication and stuff. So
Mm.
that's the high quality time, I would say. That's getting under the skin of businesses and people that are willing to share something with you, because you are sharing something with them, and you never know where it can get you in future. Yeah, so it can help you with anything. You get very deep understanding of how world works on its basic level, and that's the level of system, I would say, of all the systems that are around us. I get to see all of them, and I get to understand and know how all of them work. Anything you can imagine. So that's huge benefit, and that's the final one I would like to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Now back to your answer. Back to your question. Sorry, back to your question. And if you can repeat it, so I'll give you the right kind of answer.
Yeah, super, super. Thank you so much. And also, yeah, it's a lot of also systemic elements that you really brought up. Also, due to the nature of your work and how you kind of are exposed to all the sectors. So it's really. I mean, I also recognize the element of being, yeah, like what you said. Wastewater is in every sector, everywhere. Whether it's a hospital, it's a building with for residents, it's a kindergarten, it's a school, it's a vet station, or it's a fireman station, whatever. You have it everywhere. So I really recognize that, and these are the opportunities, the massive environmental opportunities that we have to improve things by having or with having the right product, the right solution, the right partner on the way, like Bioseptic. We love to promote that. It's very clear. You have also the link to the Frogeex profile where you can book a consultation, a free consultation, even with Filip, just to start with, maybe on your project. So highly recommend that for sure. And but also in addition the economical benefits. So I mean, we had some numbers. Maybe you can drop us some numbers to what are like the percentages, if you like to share on average, that you can save costs, or what are the kind of more quantitative aspects or results of your work.
Yeah, I'll make an example right now. Yeah, just make something up so we don't get too precise numbers. Anyone can just check it, and apply to whatever, or just ask them, give me something, and we can calculate it. Or I don't like calculations too much because I don't, analysis and statistics and things they're just made up, I would say. So you can just adjust it to whatever. I heard this from marketing agencies. I have some people working there, and actually they told me that that's why I don't do statistics. That's why I'm not a very, very big fan of this, because they said, I have to make statistics so the client works with us for longer time, because they would just not work with us anymore if we show them the real value or whatever. So
Okay.
that's how the statistics and all these assessments and I don't know whatever, when someone is calculating how long something will work and how much money it will spend or whatever, everyone can do that in a simple step like this. And that's just you just take a calculator and put, this is the cost, this is how the warranty lasts, and if it lasts few years later, then I'm fine. But typically warranty is adjusted to lifetime of something, so we just know it. And whatever we do is that I'm making one example now, so that's why I'm saying I'm not making statistics, or I don't like it, because it's made up and it's just adjusted to seller, not to the buyer. Yeah,
To the
that's
story, exactly what you present. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. So we are trying to. It feels like going against ourselves, but what we are trying to come with to people is with wastewater treatment plant at home. Very simple. You can buy it, you can use it, and you cannot do anything with it. It's gonna have a lot of problems. You'll have to get it pumped out once, twice a year, depending. Sometimes it's more often, sometimes it's like it just doesn't work from some point, and you never know what happens. You can buy bacteria, put it there every day, every week, every month. We advise every week, not every day. That's not so. Sometimes every day, depending on situation. But I'm the only one who suggests that. Typically, people just want people to, buy it. It's a consumer stuff, yeah. So consumer model. So you just say, just once a month is enough, and just buy it. Just make the transaction. I'm saying use it once a week. It might be a little bit more money, but the result is what we care about. We want to take it, yeah. We want to make it work. So you can use it every week. But if someone is interested, I'll tell them, you can buy this kind of aerator that works 24/7. We explain why these things work, how they work, and stuff, so people understand the difference in whatever they buy. And you can buy, for example, aeration that will be better. You might use less bacteria, for example, or you might spend more electricity, but there will not be such a huge need for pump outs. Pump outs are expensive. Typically, small plant in Slovakia can cost you 150 euros per year and more. Nowadays, it will be more, I think. I'm not counting electricity, and I'm not counting some basic maintenance that's done there. I'm just counting bacteria or pump outs or whatever, something like that. Some very basic maintenance stuff. So you can either use bacteria every week or every month or whatever, but the results will be according to how often you use it. Then we come up with aerators, for example, that are better. It's investment, but you save money. I have a customer who invested in such a way. He bought good bacteria, good aerator. I taught him how to use the plant because he was having a bath every day, for example. And they are not having the bath, they're taking showers now because the plant creator, the company that created the plant and sells that officially, didn't tell them that they cannot have a bath there. So they were just basically flushing out the full plant every day with 3 or 4 baths. So 150 liters of water into one cube. And it's such a massive flow there when you put it out at once that it just takes everything away, so it doesn't work again. And he said in the end, after spending 400 euros or whatever at one go to make it work, he said he's saving around 5 to 7 euros per month or whatever. That's not much, but he's saving compared to whatever he had before. Yes, so that's kind of thing. But let's go back to bacteria. One more thing, one last very good example. You can use bacteria every week, or you can buy some media that creates space for bacteria. Of course, it has some costs, yeah, you get investment, and for example, you use half of the bacteria. So you use it every week to make it work well, but you don't use 10 grams, but 5.
Mhm.
So
I got you. And it's a very interesting thing. And we need to cut this short. We have like maybe two more
yeah,
minutes extra because we are a little bit over time already. Just let's finish this point. So it's also a little bit about the sustainability of the solution. You don't sell for selling just amounts and amounts of recurring thing, but something that is sustainable to keep. It's a living organism. You kind of feed it. You keep the colony to kind of do their work on a continue. It's really the perception. It's not the machine. You have something living over there that is having a function, and that if you take care of it, it's gonna serve you. It's gonna do their job. So it's a very interesting element. And we have also Ashish. Ashish, hopefully I pronounce your name correctly, from India. Also, is there any kind of limitation in terms of geographies or something too special to consider when applying? For example, we know that India is having now this terrible heat waves ongoing, lack of water. You have problems with sanitation. What is like the potential, the application for bacteria or for bioremediation?
oh, yes, we had it in previous sessions, and this will be a very long answer again, but to make it
And then
make it
we cut it.
yeah, to just to to answer it very simply, when you use these systems right with the right amount of know-how and connections and understanding, you can make your systems work and you can get water safety. Actually, the goal is to make water safety and sustainability. So you get, the first point is water safety, which doesn't mean only fresh water, but also some usable water, yeah, for I don't know what kind, second degree of water, yeah. So not
Mhm.
usable for drinking, not potable, but it's utility water. Yes, you can utilize it anywhere else.
For
Uh,
washing or
yeah, yeah.
something.
For example, washing, watering, whatever parts of you want. Yeah, it
Food
depends on how.
eatable stuff or not eatable,
Not so
aesthetic stuff.
much. Depends on
Okay.
what kind of water we are using. Don't want to go inside wastewater. We typically, depends on the area. The law and legislation is different everywhere else. So if you are allowed, okay, if you don't have any water, you water with whatever you have. That's it.
That's
So
also a
yeah,
point. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. And I think that there's not too much danger in watering with wastewater in general. It's done, when huge plants, treatment plants, are using sludge that has all the chemicals and all the waste inside of it, and put them straight to the field that are producing food. And you cannot sprinkle the semi-treated water from treatment plant at home to your food grade plants, and they are doing it, then it's something is not perfectly right. But I know the dangers of that, and I don't advise people to do it. Okay, so you can water the grass, for example, some trees or whatever that you won't eat, some flowers, anything, yeah, because there can be some bacteria that you don't want, some pathogens basically. But in India, as there is it, where I heard it's very tragic, and 180 people died yesterday, if I heard
Mm.
correctly. That's crazy. That's something unbelievable in Europe, because we much smaller, of course, but yeah, but it's very sad. So.
Mm.
Uh, just use whatever you have, get the right know-how, and we work worldwide. So if there is anyone interested in working with us, we are open to work there. There is no limitation. I hope it helps to answer.
Super, super. Hey, Yuji, thank you so much also for the comment. Beautiful to see also the Czechoslovakian community joining. Beautiful. Nice to have you here. And yeah, so this is exactly the case. I mean, it's cost efficient, super affordable prices. You have a natural system that you can maintain. You have a better leverage of your water. Whatever you do, you're gonna use your water more efficiently and you're gonna manage it better. So this is something very important. And with this, I would say thank you so much, Philip, for your time today. Or please.
One last remark, if I can, just last thing to get the mindset going, maybe for people to understand me. When I said we go against ourselves with the sales, yeah, if
Mm,
sustainability is not about buying something, adding it there, and it's just natural product. Sustainability is that you buy that filtration media, for example, put it into that place, it stays there. It's one-time sale, nothing else for us. It's just one-time sale, and then we sell some bacteria in 10 times reduced amount, for example. So again, we sell something one time and then we sell 10 times less for you, but those systems work. But what can we focus on and offer is our service, is our quality control, is our know-how spreading, is education of people who work there, and in general, moving it to the next level. So we don't have to care about basic maintenance stuff. And we can, of course, make some money on education and communication there, but we can really shift from the level one, which is the basic work and just making it live and survive somehow, to making it working well and focus on new horizons, for example, and new challenges. That's the goal of our business. So, and that's my last remark. And thank you for this bonus time.
Super. Thank you so much for sharing super tips for also people that would like to use bacteria for bioremediation to treat water, soil, waste, whatever. Or that would like to start a business, a cooperation, a partnership. I mean, Frogeex is also a network of businesses, of entrepreneurs, of organizations all around the world. So yeah, it's a great way to connect, to kind of become a part and leverage what is happening there and use it to change your community, your direct environment for the better. Of course, with the environmental, context. Thank you so much for your time today. Again, Filip, was a great pleasure, and see you on the next one in
Thank
July.
You so much. Thank you so much. Have a nice summer and all the time that we will not see each other. Yeah.
Exactly. See you on the next one.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.